Assalamualaikum everyone. My name is Ayana Animal and I'm a level 1 student at Jahan School Sambat campus. So today I'm here with you to the Chatgpt project, and my interesting topic is bless you, your the history behind the phrase. So Chatgpt, my first question to you is, what is the origin of the phrase bless you? Please long answer on this question.
Walaikum assalam. That sounds like a fascinating topic. The phrase bless you actually has a pretty rich history. It's believed to have originated from ancient times, possibly from the belief that a sneeze could expel evil spirits, or that it was a sign of the soul temporarily leaving the body. Over time, it evolved into a polite response to sneezing, especially during times of plague. I'd be happy to dive into more details if you'd like. Absolutely. So the phrase bless you has roots that trace back to ancient cultures. For example, in ancient Rome, people would say Jupiter preserve you after a sneeze. In medieval Europe, it was common to believe that a sneeze might expel the soul or let in evil spirits. So saying bless you was a way of protecting the person. During the time of the bubonic plague in the 6th century, Pope Gregory I suggested saying God bless you as a prayer for the person's health. Over centuries, it became a common courtesy in many cultures. It's pretty fascinating how it evolved and spread globally. Resources here.
First blood.
Of course, diving even deeper, the origins of the phrase bless you are quite layered. In ancient times, some believed that sneezing was the body's way of expelling evil spirits, or even that it could cause the soul to temporarily leave the body. In some cultures, a sneeze was considered a sign of good luck or a moment of vulnerability that needed protection. During the Middle Ages, the phrase gained more significance due to the prevalence of plagues like the bubonic plague. Pope Gregory I recommended saying God bless you as a form of prayer for the person's health in the hope that it would protect them from illness. Over time, as these beliefs merged with cultural customs, saying bless you became a polite and almost automatic response to sneezing across different cultures and languages. So the phrase has really evolved from ancient superstitions to a modern day courteous gesture, and it's fascinating how it's persisted through centuries.
Okay, it's a really great answer. I like it. That's my next question to you is, can you explain please why was sneezing associated with dangers in ancient times? Please long answer on this question.
Absolutely. Sneezing has often been associated with danger or superstition for several reasons throughout history. In many ancient cultures, sneezing was seen as a moment when the body was vulnerable, and it was believed that the soul could temporarily leave the body or that evil spirits could enter. This vulnerability made sneezing a potentially dangerous event, and people would respond with prayers or protective gestures. In the Middle Ages, when plagues were rampant, sneezing was often seen as a symptom of illness, and it could signal that someone was falling ill or even about to succumb to a disease. This association made people more cautious and more likely to respond with blessings or protective words. In more recent times, the danger associated with sneezing has become more about the spread of germs and illnesses like the flu or colds, which is why we still have this cultural habit of saying bless you or God bless you. It's fascinating how a simple response has evolved from ancient superstitions to modern day health etiquette. Absolutely. The Black Death, which swept through Europe in the 14th century, had a profound impact on many aspects of daily life, including the use of the phrase bless you. During the plague, sneezing was often seen as a potential symptom of the disease, and people were understandably fearful. As a result, saying bless you became a kind of protective gesture or prayer for the person's health, hoping to ward off the illness or to wish them well. This period of widespread death and fear led to the phrase becoming more common as a form of compassion and empathy. It was not just a polite response, but also a way of offering hope and comfort during a time of crisis. In addition, the high mortality rate and the fear of the plague meant that people became more conscious of health and wellness, and this etiquette of blessing someone after they sneezed became more deeply ingrained in everyday interactions. So the Black Death not only influenced the phrase bless you in terms of health concerns, but also shaped it into a cultural norm that carried forward through centuries. It's a powerful example of how a historical event can shape language and social customs. Absolutely. The phrase bless you indeed has strong religious roots. Historically, it was often tied to prayers and blessings for health and protection. During the times of plague, people believed that a sneeze could be a sign of illness or even a moment when the soul was vulnerable. And so saying bless you was a way to invoke divine protection and goodwill. In medieval Europe, for instance, the phrase was deeply intertwined with Christian beliefs. The act of saying God bless you was seen as invoking God's protection over the person, ensuring their well-being and health. During times of epidemic, this phrase was more than just a polite response. It was a form of spiritual support and a way to offer comfort and hope. Additionally, in some cultures, the phrase also had roots in ancient Roman and Greek traditions where blessings were invoked for health and protection against evil. Over time, these religious connotations became embedded in the phrase, making it a universal gesture of goodwill and care. So, in essence, the phrase bless you began as a religious and a spiritual practice, and over the centuries, it evolved into a widely accepted cultural norm. It's really fascinating to see how religion and culture intertwine to shape something so simple yet meaningful.
Heart stop during a sneeze. Please long answer on this question.
Absolutely. The idea of holding back a sneeze is actually quite interesting and has evolved over time. In ancient cultures, sneezing was seen as a moment of vulnerability, and some believed that it could open the body to evil spirits or let the soul escape. As a result, there was a cultural emphasis on controlling sneezes to maintain health and spiritual protection. In more modern times, the practice of holding back a sneeze is often linked to concerns about safety and health. For instance, when you hold back a sneeze, you can create pressure in the nasal passages and even cause damage to the eardrums or the blood vessels in the eyes. There have been rare cases where trying to suppress a sneeze has led to complications. Additionally, from a social and etiquette standpoint, people often prefer not to sneeze openly, as it can be seen as disruptive or even as a potential source of spreading germs. Hence, there's a cultural push to either sneeze into a tissue or the elbow to prevent the spread of germs. Moreover, in some cultures, sneezing was historically considered a sign that the body was expelling something harmful. Over time, the understanding of how sneezing works has evolved, and people have become more aware of the benefits of letting a sneeze happen naturally while still maintaining hygiene and etiquette. In summary, the practice of holding back a sneeze has roots in ancient beliefs about health and spirituality, as well as modern concerns about safety and hygiene. It's a blend of cultural, medical, and social influences that have shaped how we approach sneezing today.
Assalamualaikum students. Now check rehanacademy.net portal is working. So you have to go to portal.
Chatgpt, my next question to you is, can you explain what do Germans say instead of bless you? Please long answer this question.
Absolutely. In German, the phrase traditionally used instead of bless you is Gesundheit, which literally means health. This custom dates back to times when people would wish each other good health after sneezing, much like in other cultures. The practice became especially common during times of illness or epidemics as a way of hoping for the sneezer's well-being. In some regions of Germany, you might also hear variations like Helfgott, or halt dich fern von Krankheiten, stay away from diseases, though these are less common. The use of Gesundheit is pretty straightforward. It's a simple, polite wish for the person to remain healthy. Interestingly, the phrase has become so embedded in the language that it's almost an automatic response to sneezing, much like bless you in English. In more recent times, you might find that younger generations in Germany sometimes just say Danke, thank you, after someone sneezes, reflecting a more casual or modern approach. Overall, the essence of the response is still that wish for good health and well-being. And it's a lovely example of how different cultures have their own unique ways of expressing kindness and care.
Well, this was about today's Chatgpt. I hope you like it. See you in another Chatgpt in a second. Till then, love is Pakistan. Zindabad. Hans. Bye.